Hi beauties. So this is going to be another impromptu episode of what I've been shown. I really love doing these videos because I feel like I receive the most random downloads, the most random information at the most random times. Most of the times while I'm taking a bath. Who knew? And I really love sharing these experiences with you all in hopes that it will inspire you that you are always receiving even when you feel like you're not. All the information and messages are very valuable, and just take notes. Like if you're like me and you just kind of meditate and receive something kind of random and you're not really sure if it's a real experience or if it's just your imagination, take notes, because more often than not, you'll look back, you'll be like, damn, I was receiving even back then. So I'll start with a really funny story. I mean, it's not hilarious or anything, so don't get ready to laugh. But I was reflecting back on my time in Joshua Tree, California. I'm originally from California, but now live in Australia. And I was shown this memory while I was meditating. I remember we were hiking through the Joshua Tree National Park, and I saw in my imagination this giant greenish blue portal, like 9 feet tall, kind of float about 50 yards in front of me, and I saw like this being come out, but I just thought it was my imagination. Like I was like, damn, that would be cool if a portal did show up and an alien walked through. Wouldn't that be great? And they were showing me it again, because they were like, that wasn't your imagination, that was happening, but in your third eye. So I'm very visual. I'm very clairvoyant. I see very clearly images in my mind. So I don't see things too often in the physical. And so they're showing me that, and I was like, what? Are you guys sure? They're like, yeah, that was like one of the first experiences. And they showed me other memories too. I've just always seen stuff with my third eye. I just didn't realize I was seeing things, actual things that I just didn't know you could see ghosts and spirits and aliens in your third eye. I thought they would only show up in the physical. That's how you would know it is real. And I just learned this like this year. So think about all the things you have yet to learn about yourself, because I just had no idea. And so this experience was really cool because I think this portal opened. I don't think it had anything to do with me. I don't think it was directly for me to experience. Like the portal wasn't opening so that the light being could come through and communicate with me. I think they were traveling. I think they opened the portal and weren't expecting anyone to be able to see them, to be there, to be present. Maybe they did know. And so I just saw this whole thing. Like I saw the portal kind of long, like this shape. I don't know if you can even see what that shape is. Kind of like that, but like 9 feet tall, bluish green, and like this thing walked through I'm trying to remember what it looked like, what she looked like. They just sort of walked through and then like walked a couple steps and then poofed away, and then the portal stood there for a second, then closed. And again, I just thought this was in my imagination. And this is why I like sharing these stories with you all, because I see it so many times with clients too, where they either during session or after, they'll email me and they're like, am I just making this up? And I'm like, nah, man, you're not, I promise. So that was just a really cool reminder of the experiences I had. I've had really cool experiences in Joshua Tree. It's a very highly energetic space. So I get it. I get why aliens want to go there. I get why humans want to go there. Very cool. I have my notes down here just because duh, notes. So something else that was really cool, I was in the bath, as always. I was just kind of like looking down, zoning out, and then I was shown a flash of, it was like my body, but an alien looking type body, like not a humanoid. It was grayish white skin. And they too were in a bath, but it was gel. And so I think I was either getting a flash of one of my soul fractals or just peering into the universal consciousness. But what they were showing me, they're like how we take baths to like relax and rejuvenate. This one being was taking a bath in some gel stuff, and it's like rejuvenating, regenerating gel. So like the body slips in and hangs out in this gel-like substance, and heals and regenerates and rejuvenates, and that's it. So that was just really cool to me. It's just sort of the parallels between being a human and being a non-earth being and the sort of similarities we have. I really love taking baths. It's one of the most soothing things for me. I like being in water in general. And so it's just interesting to see like the gel. It was like just really gooey gel. Just imagine how you would imagine gel. Kind of like Jello, but clear, more jelly. I don't know. They didn't really show me too much of that. It was almost like I was just getting a flash real quick of like another life I was living, but doing the same but different. And then something really cool. Going back to Joshua Tree, Landers, California, there's the Integratron. And back in 2012, I went there quite often. My ex, his dad is into sacred geometry, and a couple of the friends, we do like sleepovers in the Integratron and listen to gongs for like 12 hours straight, whatever, right? And so, brief history of the Integratron in case you have no idea what the frick I'm talking about. It's this white dome in Landers, California, which is next, I don't know what my hands are doing today, next door to Joshua Tree. And the story, I'll probably botch the story, I'm just going off it from memory, is in the 1950s, I believe, this man by the name of George Van Tassel was visited by an alien from Venus named Soganda. And Soganda gave him the blueprints either telepathically or physically, I'm not sure, but just basically told him to build this dome. And the quick story behind why Soganda wanted him to build this dome was human bodies do not live long enough for our consciousness to fully develop. I've been shown humans, us, can live like for thousands of years or maybe 8,000 years. But for some reason, it's all about our consciousness. So I've been showing a lot about how we are beginning to live longer because we're expanding our consciousness. But anyways, this is the 1950s. Georgie builds it, and the CIA, government, whoever, destroys some main panels or something. You know, the dome is still there, but the main part of it gets destroyed, and then George, I think, like dies soon after. But the whole point was for humans to go through, receive the healing vibrations, and walk out. So how he kind of imagined it was just humans lining up, walking through the dome, having their cells rejuvenated to live longer, and then therefore our consciousness would be able to expand and ascend to its highest form as earthlings. Yeah, so I was kind of there, I was just asking them, I'm like, you know, we're in this space and time where we're all kind of down with aliens, you know, it's not that big of a deal anymore. I'm like, why don't we build more Integratrons? Like, why not? Like, I don't think the government cares anymore. I mean, they just released those Pentagon UFO sightings. I'm like, let's do this. And what the light beings I was communicating with showed me was there's no need for a physical building anymore, because we are learning that we are in the stage in our consciousness where we are learning how powerful we are by the means of our consciousness. And we can see this through the Joe Dispenzas of the world and neuroscience and all of that really good stuff, where we're beginning to learn that we can heal our bodies through our consciousness. And this isn't some theory or some like cool magical idea. There's 30 years of statistics showing these science-backed experiments using our consciousness to heal. We're seeing really quick healing through the consciousness. So they're just showing me, it's like, we don't need the buildings anymore. We don't need the quote-unquote Integratron anymore. Still love that place. The place is amazing. But they're saying, I was just asking, should we start building those buildings again? And they're like, no, you don't need it. You have your consciousness. You guys are ready. So that was something really cool just to hear, because I've kind of been diving into that whole, what does it mean to use my consciousness to heal? How does that work? And so now the Integratron is a sound healing sort of retreat place. So you can go and you can have an hour or two long sound healing with gongs and sound bowls. It's really magical. So I highly recommend. And then the last thing I want to share today, I'm like deleting stuff as we go so I don't repeat or get shit lost. I was talking to a friend the other day, and so this was something I received and I shared with her, but it was her experience, so I won't share all of it. But basically, she was sharing with me how she was communicating with some light beings, and they showed her a key, and she was like, I don't know. She was asking me, she's like, I don't know what to do with this key. And how I know I'm receiving is I feel it in my spine. It's almost like they dive down at an angle into my spine and enter my consciousness that way. So I felt like my spine have like an orgasm or something. It's just like split second, it feels really good. It's like the chills, but it feels really good. And so I told her, I'm like, you are the key. Like that, they're showing you that you're the key and you're supposed to do something to integrate. And I think what gets confusing for all of us when we receive information or we receive light activations or codes that we're meant to go out and do something, like something grand and big, sometimes that is the case. But what they were showing me is we actually have all the DNA light code activations and keys within ourselves already. They're just dormant, waiting to be reactivated. And so this is just me sharing, if you ever receive light codes or a key in your meditation or through another healer, it's recognizing that you are the key, you are the codes. They're just waiting to be reactivated, to be integrated in the physical. And for me, that looks like simply being. That looks like just simply being yourself. You don't need to go out and climb a mountain or start hugging trees, unless that's like the download. I think the most valuable thing I can share with you all is if you feel like you have an activation going on, listen to what guidance or messages or downloads, pings you're receiving. If you feel or hear a ping, a download to go to the beach and jump in the ocean, do that. Maybe that's the way you're meant to integrate those codes. Maybe that's the way you're meant to integrate those keys. Maybe it's calling someone. Maybe it's taking a nap. It's recognizing that we can do the tiniest things, take the smallest actions, and they can still hold the biggest vibration and frequency. It's almost like do less to be more. So, I get so winded. God, I have some breathing problems. So, let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. And let me see. Sorry, they're like started talking. They're like, wait. I'm like, what? Oh, they're just sending messages of love. I can feel my heart space just opening up. They love you. I love you. You love me. We. Okay. All right. For reals. I'm out of here. Bye.